Good morning and welcome to Monday and another Nudelberg Daily Huddle. 7:58. That means we are live and we are ready to kick off a fantastic week. But this is not just any Monday. This is a Mayor Monday. We've got Broward County Mayor Michael Udine here with us. Excited to share some time with him. But before we get to that, what a weekend of sports it was.
The Heat move on. The Panthers move on. I'm sure we have some Ranger fans in the building. Last night was absolutely nuts. They come back from 3-2 down to win it in OT. Madison Square Garden rocking.
I'm sure there's some Celtic fans in here too. I mean, I'm sure we've got some people from Boston. It was an unbelievable weekend of Game 7s, which I don't know if there's a better game in sports than Game 7 because it's for all the marbles. We're in the middle of the playoffs. We're not even to the championships yet. So just really fun to watch what's going on.
Florida teams got to avoid those situations. Terrible performance from the Suns yesterday.
Unbelievable. We talk about Game 7s and talk about time to show up, preparation, and answering the bell or, rising to the challenge. And boy, did the Suns not rise to the challenge. They showed up flat.
We do have some Hurricane fans in here too, obviously from the Sestell group and all them. So they move on to play, I believe, is the Rangers.
Right, they got the Rangers now.
So that'll be a great series. I'm all into hockey all of a sudden.
It was a great weekend, though. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I know I spent some time out in the community. We had our first. A lot of firsts happened this weekend. We had our first date as parents. So we had my mom and Jim come and watch Jules for Friday night, which was fantastic. Then Saturday, we were out at Sistrunk Marketplace, and we took Jules for his first shopping spree at Lululemon, which definitely is a serious addiction. And thank God they don't make babies' clothes yet, because that would have been a real problem. And then Sunday, got to go to church service for the first time with Jules, got to get our morning mass in and get our spirits right. And it was just a great weekend of being out and getting back to some normalcy.
Yeah, and we don't have the picture, but Dad linked up with, blanking on the name right now.
John Breckenridge,
which he had never met in person. So it was cool to see people virtually who have been working together for almost a year now.
Crushing his trip. I mean,
absolutely
crushing. Food, the sights, he just keeps sending, I keep seeing a picture of him and Helen that I'm like, oh, he's definitely going to frame that one. And then he sends another one and I'm like, oh, well, that one's probably getting framed too.
But to the huddle group, he is our father, so we like to roast on him a little bit. He sends one at a time instead of all of them at the same time. So we get to enjoy them kind of in real time as it happens.
Let's go. We're going to get to some wake up music, and then we are coming back with the mayor.
Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up. Come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. What you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more back to thinking. Time for thinking ahead. Come on now.
So first, I want to say welcome to Brian Latour to the huddle today, coming in from the Hot Wire crew. Thanks for being with us. And without any further ado, let's welcome in Broward County Mayor Michael Udine. Michael, welcome to the show.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I, too, am enjoying your father's pictures. He looks like he's crushing it. So I saw him the other night at the Mayor's Gala, and I saw him and Helen were going away. So he's the man. He's on fire. Good for him. You need the vacation. You need to cleanse out the mind every once in a while.
He is enjoying a much-deserved vacation. It's really like the man's first legitimate vacation in 20 years.
But
so super excited for him.
We're still getting emails at 6 o'clock at night.
I don't doubt it. 24/7, baby. 24/7.
There's no doubt. So thank you for coming back to the show. We're glad to have you here again. Catch us, number one, reintroduce yourself to the audience, and then catch us up on when we last talked to you. You were entering into the office of Broward County Mayor. Now you've been in there. What's going on and what's it been like? How's it been adjusting?
Awesome. So yeah, I'm Broward County Mayor Michael Udine. And I guess you could say this is 6 months into my term as mayor of Broward County. The way Broward County works is I'm a county commissioner for the northwest part of the county. I have Parkland, Coral Springs, Tamarack, North Lauderdale, pieces of Sunrise, that area. I have the northwest portion. Every year we rotate who the county commission chair is going to be, and that person's the mayor. This is my year. And wow, what a time it's been to be the mayor of Broward County, because we were talking about this little behind the scenes. There's a lot of good stuff going on right now in Broward County. South Florida is the place to be. Broward County's right in the thick of it. Whatever you're into, there's been something for you. I mean, if you're a hockey fan, we got the Florida Panthers. Yep. If you're a basketball fan, we have the Heat. If you're a racing fan, we have F1. If you're a horse racing fan, Gulfstream's going nuts. They have the new Carousel Club. They just had the big races over there a few weeks ago. So I mean, sports-wise, there's a lot going on. You want to enjoy the lifestyle of South Florida. You want to do something with innovation tech. You got the NSU Innovation Tech Hub. We just did that kickoff, which is a joint venture between Broward County and Nova Southeastern University. So Broward County, South Florida is the place to be right now, and we're in the middle of it.
I love it. So how has your life been affected though? I think, coming into it, you probably had an idea because you had to work with the chair, right? Whoever was the Broward County mayor before. How different is it being in the seat than looking at the seat?
It's a tremendous time commitment, obviously, because the county's so big to get to all these different things. There's a lot of different events. There's a lot of different important things that you have to be at. And it's just you basically being the spokesperson for Broward County. And when we're in the middle of so many good things, it's a great time to do that. Example, we just signed a major bond signing for our convention center. We're expanding the Broward County Convention Center and making it one of the largest, a tier A convention center. Yeah. So we sold bonds to do that. And the Broward County was on the marquee at the New York Stock Exchange. I think JP Morgan and Morgan Stanley sold the bonds. Broward County was a good investment. Those bonds were snatched right up. We also sold bonds. We're building a headquarter hotel. So we're going to have a convention center in Broward County we've already always had one, but it's been one of those mid-level ones. Now we're going to have one of the high-end convention centers with an 800-room headquarter Omni-branded hotel attached right to it, with the support of all the local hoteliers and travel professionals in the area. And that's going to allow us to bring the big events down to Broward County Convention Center. So you couple that with our world-class seaport, which is right on that campus, and our world-class airport. For FLL is one of the fastest growing airports in the nation. Both our seaport and our airport are back to pre-pandemic levels. So it's a good time to be in the tourism industry in Broward County.
That's incredible. So, I mean, are there any key events or are there any industries that we're really targeting for that convention center? Is there something that we're like, oh, we want to go get that thing and bring it to South Florida?
So the interesting thing is when we build the things, we have an amazing small business team in Broward County. And part of what we do when we build things in Broward County, when we buy goods and services, and Broward County, since we run an airport, a seaport, a convention center, a visitors bureau, et cetera, Broward County is one of the largest purveyors of goods and services basically south of Orlando. What we try to do when we buy those goods and services is make sure that a lot of the dollars that we spend are spent on local small businesses. So those dollars can be recirculated within the community. And I think that that's an important commitment that we have with our residents of Broward County. We want to make sure that we're spending the dollars locally because those get recycled. Those are the people that sponsor your kids' soccer and Little League team. And congratulations on the new baby. That's awesome.
I
so
appreciate
those are the
that.
people that are in the community that are doing those things. So we try to do that. Our Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance is out targeting different industries to come make their headquarters in Broward County and to come move their businesses here. And you can see that we're really doing that. Broward County is centrally located, obviously, between Palm Beach and Miami. And we're participating in this whole live in the sun, work in the cloud mentality. People have seen through this pandemic that you can really almost live anywhere, and you're working hybrid, you're working remotely, however you're doing it. And if you're going to do that, why not live in a place where it has the culture and lifestyle that you can enjoy and live life? So Broward County's been a big beneficiary to that. So specific examples. How about Disney Cruise Line? They're going to start cruising out of Port Everglades. That's their second port away from Port Canaveral. That's a pretty big get for Broward County. They're going to be revamping part of their terminal within the port. So Broward County is truly going to be the happiest place on earth for a little while when you go in there. And you're going to get used to that with a new baby. You're going to get used to this whole Disney thing. That's going to be your thing.
I'm hoping that I got some time before I have to go there.
How about Ritz-Carlton Yachts? Ritz-Carlton Yachts is going to come and headquarter out of Broward County. How about different tech companies that are coming here? Venture Fuel, NSU Innovation Hub. It's a good time to be the mayor of Broward County.
I mean, you're blowing me away. I've seen a lot that's happening, but what you're putting on our plate is even more incredible. Let's touch on the Innovation Center for a second. That's where we had the opportunity to catch up. It was great to see you again, and what kind of sparked this idea of you coming back to the huddle. But
wow,
how big is the Innovation Center for?
Holy cow!
Good picture.
Yeah.
So talk to us about how big this is now that it's open and it's running, and there's more things coming into the Innovation Center. How does that push tech forward in Broward?
So NSU Levan Innovation Center is just it's a joint venture between Broward County and Nova Southeastern University. When you look at different universities throughout the state of Florida, I know you guys are big Gators, if you're Florida State, whatever it is, most of the major libraries at those facilities are really revolved around the university community. Broward County made a commitment with Nova Southeastern 25 years ago to build a major library within that campus, but it's got to be open to everybody, so everybody in Broward can use that. One of the things that we did at the time was we left the 5th floor as a shell because we figured, we'll grow into it, we'll do something and go from there. Well, what's happened over the last 20, 25 years, Google, YouTube, whatever it is, have made us a little less reliant on the physical books. So we had the space. We turned that 5th floor into a huge innovation hub. There are startup companies, scale-up companies, cyber defense companies, the Nudelberg Daily Huddles based out of there. So there's a lot of different companies that are coming into NSU. NSU is really a treasure for that because it's a major research university. They have medical, they have law, they have dentistry, they have health services, tons of graduate programs. So all of these companies that are looking to scale up there, what do they need? They need all those disciplines. And it's a great way for the university community, for the innovation community, for the tech community to all work together to get that ecosystem going. I mean, what the goal is for, young guys and gals that go to high school in South Florida, that go get their degrees, that invent the next app, that invent the next, whatever it is. We want them to come back and we want them to do it here. And the NSU Innovation Hub, modeled after what they're doing at FAU, they have the FAU Tech Runway and their thing. Sure. These things work. Major companies come out of there. And I think it's good for the whole employment ecosystem in South Florida. And I think a few years from now, you're going to see something and say, wow, I remember that idea. It started at NSU. And look at them now. And it's just really cool to be a part of it right from the beginning.
So just a question about, aside from obviously it making sense for Broward County to partner with them to bring the awareness and to have the development of people there, what's the other side of that partnership? What's the benefit that the county gets from helping NSU do this on their campus?
So we we didn't build out a library. We didn't put books on the 5th floor. Helping NSU do that leads to more businesses throughout Broward County. And what that does for small businesses, all those companies that scale up there, they're going to need a new janitorial service. They're going to need a new security service. It was really cool. I went to F1 2 weeks ago down in Miami. And if you looked at all the different tents they had, all the hospitality areas, all the security, I knew a lot of them because they were local Broward companies, small businesses. If you were a catering company on F1 weekend, you were busy because there was so much need for these small companies. Yeah. And I've seen businesses start as a small business, work into those things, Super Bowls and whatever it is in the past. And now they scale up and they're major companies down in South Florida. And it's cool. And that's what it's all about.
That's very cool. So we're talking a lot about work. We're talking about a lot of the good stuff that you're doing, but it's not all work, right? It's a little bit of play. You touched on the mayor's ball. What was it like for that to be your event, to be the head honcho in the room? And what's some of the things that came out of that event that maybe you're pushing forward now?
So the United Way, listen, as we've talked about before, there are a lot of issues that we have to tackle in South Florida and all over the world. There's an affordability crisis for housing. People need to you see that firsthand, what rents are doing. People need to be able to live in the communities where they work. And the United Way does an amazing job helping. The nonprofit communities are so important, be it mental health, be it food insecurity that we saw during the pandemic and forever, be it housing, whatever it is, United Way is great. So it was fantastic to partner with them. Little plug for them. Not only can you donate in cash now, they worked with a Broward-based company, TradeStation, which is based in Plantation. You can donate to United Way in cryptocurrency. And the first Bitcoin donation to United Way of South Florida was made by yours truly. I donated 0.025 Bitcoin from my wallet through the TradeStation wallet into United Way. And they're now starting to do cryptocurrency as a contribution. And let's see, it's just fun. It's conversation.
Cool. We just had that conversation on Friday. We talked all about blockchain. We tried to help everybody in the huddle really understand what it is, because it's hard to unpack. And I kind of related it to the .com boom. And like everybody was kind of like, what is this thing? Is it really going to work? It was super unstable. It was up and down. There was a lot of people saying it was snake oil, and a lot of people lost money in fraudulent stuff. But it was a cool conversation because we really kind of drove home the reminder that we're constantly changing, right? Everything is changing. Is there anything in Broward that we should be aware of for cryptocurrency or anything like that that we should be a part of?
I just think that we need to learn as much as we can about it. We need to embrace it, because I think a lot of the future business developments is going to revolve around the blockchain. And like what you said is true. The internet had its periods in the beginning when it had its up and down. I'm old enough to remember when you used to dial into AOL and you heard that bzzz, and that was it. And you couldn't get on because it was busy. And then we transitioned, and now we're to a point where the internet is running our automobiles. They're doing so much. But there were casualties along the way. I mean, people who invested in pets.com and whatever it is, and they're gone. And I think that's what you're going to see here with crypto. There's going to be some winners and there's going to be some losers. I think everybody needs to be careful in what they're doing. But I think that the industries that this is going to spawn is going to be pretty big. I mean, look at it this way. The Heat who were in the Eastern Conference Finals, they used to play at the American Airlines Arena. Now they play at the FTX Arena. Right. The F1 was sponsored by Crypto.com F1. So these companies are real. They're doing important things, and they're coming in back to the community. I've personally been working with FTX and some nonprofit leaders in Broward County to try and bank the unbanked using cryptocurrency. And we're, talking about different things like that. There's a lot of different things that can be done charity wise. The blockchain is for real. There's going to be major innovation that's going to come off the blockchain. And it's pretty cool to be, to watch this in the beginning. The metaverse, you're going to see these companies advertising through the metaverse. I was the first mayor to cut a ribbon in a metaverse community And what that means, I have no idea, but it was very cool at the time. I have an avatar. Someone made me an avatar. So there is a Michael Udine avatar. So it's just fun to watch, and it's just exciting to see. And when people say, you know, this whole generation, we're screwed, it's things are so bad, I look at some of that, and I look at some of the innovation coming out of the younger generation, and I'm like, this is cool stuff.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing the passion that you talk with about Broward County. One, we talk about everybody talking about what they do in a passionate way, and you do it at a very high level. Kind of have a two-part question. There's so much going on consistently in the county. You're talking about all these events, initiatives. Prioritization is really important with all the people we work with. How do you prioritize not only your personal life, but your professional life, and focus in on the priorities that affect the most people, and how you decide that?
So the good thing is I serve with 8 other great people on the Broward County Commission, so we can divide and conquer when things come up. There are things that are important to everybody. There are different groups. You clearly can't make it all. Usually there's multiple things happening on a day-by-day basis. You know, just today I'm meeting with an ambassador from another country. I'm meeting with Brightline executives. I mean, there's things that come on a day-by-day basis, but teamwork, I think teamwork is very important, to work with a good team, to have a good staff. I have a good personal staff. My family is very into the whole thing. My wife is the executive director of a nonprofit, so she goes to a lot of events. We try to combine where we can, where, you know, if the kids are going to something, we'll all try to go together. But it's hard. You got to prioritize. You got to pick and choose. You got to learn to say no, unfortunately, sometimes. But you have to be available, open, and accessible. I'm pretty easy to track down. You can find me on Twitter at Michael Udine. You can find me on Instagram. I like to post a lot of stuff. I'm your representative. I work for you. You're my boss. You should see what's going on. I respond to people. I love to mix it up with people, even people that are on opposite sides. I have no problem, you know, trying to defend my position or trying to learn other positions. So it's interesting to me, and it's you know, part of what I enjoy, and it gives me that fuel to keep going. And I like to go at 100 miles an hour, like the Nudelberg team, and then at some time I'll just drop, but I keep it going at 100 miles per hour.
What a fantastic way to end the show. So you were talking about, you know, we're your boss and you work for us, but what can we do for you? What do you want to leave the huddle with, as for those of us that are in Broward, that can help, that can get involved? What should we be paying attention to, and how can we help you and the rest of the commission accomplish something new or what we're working on in the next year?
I think we have to stay engaged. I think we have to stay motivated together. I think we have to, you know, there'll always be naysayers. I think we have to listen to them, but I think we still have to block and tackle and move forward. And I just think we have to keep going. There's always going to be somebody that does something differently. There's always going to be the critics. Use the criticism as your fuel and punch forward. I mean, there's a saying, like in Silicon Valley, if you don't have a failure or two on your resume, you really haven't, you know, made your bones. Yeah. So there's going to be mistakes. Learn from them. Keep pushing forward. And I think that helps everybody.
Mayor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. This was beyond enjoyable. Maybe we'll do it again in a few months. Maybe we'll make this a quarterly thing where you get to update us on what's going on and help keep us engaged and active with Broward.
Keep doing your thing, gentlemen. My regards to your father. The Nudelberg team is out pushing it every morning. I love to start off my day. I feel good after I listen to you guys. Get motivated, get passionate, and get going.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll see you guys. You guys get down to business. We'll see you tomorrow.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down to business.